What's up guys, after the surprisingly positive reception of the Fandletale Spotlight, I have another animation spotlight for you, but this time it's a cartoon series called Kitsune and the Super Fuck Friends. Yes, that is the real name, and while this intro is playing, I'ma go figure out how I'm gonna title this video. So what is Kitsune and the Super Fuck Friends? Well, and I'm gonna need you to follow me on this one, picture Sesame Street, but make it for adults.
With blackjack and hookers!
And by adults, I mean with tons of dirty sex humor. I mean, just one look at this show and you can see that most all the characters are all pantsless animals, you know, like most cartoons, but here they are all anatomically correct. Thank God I only need clips for a spotlight. Though there isn't much dialogue going on about this show, I have seen some people compare it to the series Happy Tree Friends here on YouTube, in its more adult visuals contrasting with cartoony characters. But the visuals aren't the only thing mature about this series, it's also the subject matter. It is specifically tailored for an adult audience. This show tackles topics like STDs, porn addiction, sexism, and erectile dysfunction much in the same way that a kids show would talk about counseling or being nice to each other. It's really funny to watch, and can actually be educational because it goes in a level of detail well beyond the obvious. Kitsune and his friends go on some wacky adventures too, and while not every episode is going to be everyone's cup of tea, like if you can't handle actual poop jokes, then there are a few episodes you need to skip. The first episode is a bit of a shock test, focusing on eating healthy, then suddenly jumping into a topic of putting vegetables up your butt. So I think that was the warning to anyone who just stumbled onto the series, basically saying that this is the kind of entertainment you might get here, so don't be surprised what comes next. But every episode does have a very real message to it, simply told in a way that is crudely entertaining. My favorite episode has to be the porn addiction episode, where Kitsune gets into a visual novel / dating sim thing, and FYI, no, that is not the reason why I like this episode, and how it just spirals out of control until the character Miss Pussycat, laying it on a little thick there show, fights against the virtual girl played by, surprisingly enough, an artist and model on Twitter by the name of Double Maximus, in a fighting game sequence before announcing that she used to play SNK tournaments. Yeah, this show can get awesomely weird. I think anyone who already knows about this show probably did because of the character Miss Pussycat, but she isn't just a constant source of eye candy, she is also doubling as that one smart character in children's cartoons that always have the lesson of the day ready to drill into the viewer's head. Funny enough, she didn't always have that sort of anime art style. In the first few episodes, she actually had a much more furry look, similar to the other male characters, but I guess at some point in development, they decided to tune down the cartooning and crank up the sex appeal. As far as the episode that I think had the best message out of the ones I've seen, as I haven't seen all the episodes, I think the series is actually wrapping up at the time of recording this, though I'm not sure, but the best message I've seen so far has to ironically go to the one episode I think that most people will skip due to, let's just say, bodily humor. The focus on that episode was racism and cultural differences, but not just in the standard it's bad angle that every cartoon under the sun has shown.
You know what it feels like to be judged simply because of how you look?
Of course I do. I'm part robot.
But also the flip, where the idealistic character ends up not gelling well with the foreign character's culture, and the foreign character reacting poorly to a single mistake by the main cast and leaving in a huff. And ironically enough, the original character, who claimed to hate the other character's culture, ended up liking it the second he was actually exposed to it. Taking issues like that and even just diving a little bit more than what's normally discussed is something I have to really applaud the show for doing. It makes people think. That's really all I have to say about this show. Looking around, I didn't really see anyone talking about it, which was kinda shocking as the show does feel pretty unique, and even removing the show entirely from the equation, it was a part of a fairly new streaming service for animation, so I thought I'd talk about it a little bit. And on that note, while the clips might have already spoiled this little revelation, this is not an American nor Japanese series. It was actually made in Paris by animation studio Bobby Pills, and can be seen on the service Black Pills. It's a cool short series with 5-minute episodes, and the site is mobile friendly, so I would say check it out in your free time. You will probably like it if you like dirty comedy. Kinda reminds me of older Adult Swim shows, but without the filter of the FCC. You know, one of the main reasons internet is better than television. But hey, maybe you might learn something in the process, so again, check it out. But with that, I will see you guys next time.